Hi, everybody, and welcome to I Fucking Love Whiskey. I'm Andrew Pearson. I fucking love whiskey. As always, I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Joseph Limbaugh.
I fucking love whiskey as well, and we have the delightful creators, cast, producers, the people who have seen no evil.
Hello.
Yay.
Yeah. We got Alex Caan, Cory Wysinski, and of course, Arlo.
Hey, friends.
Arlo.
Hello.
Who's transcended his last name.
Yes,
He's just Arlo. With an
like,
awesome first name like Arlo, you don't need a last name.
No, that's a single name.
Yeah.
That is kind of true.
That's so nice. Well, I want to talk about your podcast. I want to talk about all sorts of things, but before we do any of that, I think it's important for us to have a whiskey in our hands.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd
So
agree.
let's start with the first one. This is a Port Askaig. It's a single malt American oak, 110 proof. That's 55%. No age statement. This is most likely Caol Ila, but they don't tell you for sure.
I really like the font on the bottle, and I like the dark glass of the bottle too. Like it's it's got a especially dark green.
Old time.
Port Askaig.
Yeah.
Yeah, Port Askaig is one of the two ports on Isla. So it's kind of an independent bottler branding those.
So for our whiskeys today, we're going for peaty. Is that right?
Oh, we're going for peaty and we're going for heaty. Yes.
I love
peaty and
peat.
heaty.
Oh, what's the difference between heaty and peaty?
Peaty and peaty?
I think
Heat.
heaty is mostly to do with the alcohol content.
Yeah, this is a
Oh,
55%
okay.
alcohol. That's the heat.
Got it.
We're
Hey, guys,
starting off hot.
What do you do when
Oh, yeah.
what do
So
you do?
there's that little plastic thing in there.
Oh.
Just use your fingernail to pop it out and put it back in the lid. Don't
Okay.
lose it. That's the thing that
I thought that was
sometimes
gonna
sticks
make
to the
me-
top of the bottle.
What you were doing
It's a
there
stopper.
had the you might have like splashed all of the whiskey in
Yeah.
the glass. So
And
That
Alex,
would've been terrible.
I gave you, on most of these, I gave everyone much more than half an ounce. So just pour like a quarter of the bottle. That's a 2-ounce bottle in there. Just pour, or do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
I'll only
Do whatever
pour
you
that
want.
much.
do whatever you
Only
want.
pour the amount you
But
recommended.
there are 4 of these today. All right, I'm gonna nose this.
I'll definitely save some for later because I get the feeling this
Oh,
is
yeah.
the best scotch I'm gonna have access to for a while.
So
Yeah.
I am
Ooh.
digitally taking this in
Yep.
Ooh.
because I only have 2 of the 4 because I have to be careful with how much I drink.
Okay, you know this house that I'm building here. This is a Dwarven stronghold far underground.
Oh, nice.
There's,
I can smell that.
you know when Gimli is like meat fresh off the bone, like
Yeah.
he's in a, like he's talking about. This is Moria. This is like that's what this is. There's
Yeah,
maybe
this-
just a hint of Balrog in there.
Oh, in the
It's
deep
definitely
ones.
There's a
forged
lot of
forged in
Balrog.
fire.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. This is Dwarven.
I'm kind of
Dwarven
Forged
thinking
forge.
the
it's like
nostrils.
the house that I'm building here is like an isolated lumberjack, and he's really rugged and tough. But he's built himself a little house on a meadow.
Oh, very nice. So
That's like what this is for me right now.
But he's got a hearth. He's got a serious fucking stone hearth with a fire
yeah.
going, I think.
Oh
For
yeah.
some reason, I see him knitting in front of the fireplace right now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then a dwarf kicks open the door and goes, "It's time for adventure."
yeah,
Okay. And you're ready. You're just ready.
he grabs his axe.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to go.
This has a nice, it's got like a light edge to it. There's something like almost a citrusy thing going on in the background, I think.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
definitely getting a bit of grapefruit, I think, in here. In addition to the clear amounts of smoke and peat that are,
The very,
happening.
very present peat.
It feels like being around a campfire on like a very humid night. In like
Yeah.
a swamp maybe.
Ooh.
I was just thinking campfire. That's insane that you
Campfire.
said that. Like, as soon as I tasted it, I was like, campfire.
Campfire is
Campfire.
it's a very common sense memory from drinking peated scotch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's going to be yeah. Not that
I just
you're not unique, Arlo.
Well, Alex said it
I-
first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the first person who ever thought that, and then Arlo was the second. And
You guys are trailblazers.
Campfire? Oh my God! I never tasted it.
you know what this tastes like?
You guys,
Can't put my finger on it.
What does it taste like?
guys.
I don't know if you've ever been around a campfire before, but when I was younger, I went to this camp,
What is it? What exactly is a campfire? I've never heard that term. What is
Did the camp burn down?
It's like it's a
central point to tell stories around.
yeah.
That's its only purpose.
And that's why we're here, to tell stories around this campfire of Scotch.
To keep us warm
Mhm.
from the cold, arid night. Although I did say it felt humid, so really it's overkill on the heat because I'm already sweltering.
Right.
Well, we got more heat ahead, so
We do.
The selection.
drink your potion of fire resistance and
Yeah.
and tally forth.
One of the great things about doing the show is it's forcing me to go through my collection and open a bunch of bottles I had not previously opened. And in doing so, in the last 2 weeks, one was this one and one was another one last night, I found corks that were disintegrating. And so it's like, good thing I found
It goes
those.
out of
Yeah,
there.
so that could have contaminated the whiskey.
Well, it probably just would have evaporated and became just tasty water.
Yeah.
Tasty water, new from Nabisco.
I may have missed this, but where is this? Like, what region of
All the scotches today will be from Ila,
Isla?
which is an island off the west coast of Scotland. There, Joseph is pointing it out.
Oh, there's Joseph on the map.
Red Island
Very
there.
good.
That is Isla.
9 distilleries and counting going there.
I got this delightful map from the Scotch Whiskey Experience, which we've talked about many times. There's a ride you can go on where you ride in a barrel and they tell you about Scotch. You basically get turned into Scotch. You're in the barrel and you go through the process yourself.
So great.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then at the end, you get to drink yourself.
Wow.
In this room with a collection of scotches that just line the wall, and this South American collector, Venezuelan, I think, collected all these scotches over years and years and years, didn't open a single one of them. Now, I hope he got 2 bottles of each, so he drank one and then collected one, because otherwise, I mean, whiskey's nice to look at, but you got to taste it too.
Well, some of them are super rare and really old, so there's no way he could have gotten 2 bottles of some of those, because some of them are like, I don't know, 500 years old, something like that. Like that might be a bit more than I'm saying, but they're not drinkable anymore, clearly. But there's some that are like.
I think some of them are probably fine.
Some of them are definitely fine, but you can see some of the bottles have there's just like sludge in them. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh man,
Like the cork went bad and it evaporated or something.
that's not even tasty water. That's tepid water at that point.
I don't even think it's water. It's probably something organic.
Water's
Something
not
else.
organic.
Something conscious.
Water is, I guess, arguably kind of organic, but you don't want it to be too organic.
Right. When water starts thinking for itself, then there's an issue.
Right. We can't have sentient water.
Hey,
God, I
speaking
used
of
to
sentient
be
water,
organic.
this seems like a good transition to talk about See No Evil.
Yeah, yes. We're following what you're putting down there.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys have a podcast, a voice-only podcast, a sound-only podcast, where you play horror video games, scare each other silly and scream a lot, and it's hysterical and delightful.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
That's you
Let me ask you
described
this:
it quite
what's
well.
the scariest game you've played?
Amnesia.
Yeah, probably the one we're playing right now.
I've heard that's pretty scary. There's one that's like, what's it called? It's like, there's so many of them now. And I've played quite a few. I've played quite a few.
Have you played them?
Wow, I've only had a couple sips.
Oh man, you gotta get back to Moria.
Cheers. Back to Moria.
I played quite a few horror games, but there's one I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the name of it.
Haunted
It's
Hill
supposed to be really
or-
scary.
Mm.
Have you played 7 Days to Die?
No.
No, we've only had 2. This is our second season right now that we're in the middle of. That got sidetracked because of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
The world got suddenly scarier on its own. This isn't the scariest of video
exactly.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The podcast was no longer interesting because the real world is scarier than what we're doing. But we have a growing list of games that we want to get through, so we'll definitely add that to the mix. We've played through Resident Evil 2, the remake that was re-released 2018, right? Something like that.
I played almost all the Resident Evil games. My favorite one was the one that was on GameCube, I believe.
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, that was great. That's one where they're not like zombies, but they have parasites living inside of them. Like,
right.
So creepy.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think it was Resident Evil. I think the original Resident Evil was the first horror game I played. And I just remember at one point I was walking, like I was playing the game, and I got to like this hallway and there was a sign and it said on one side that was the morgue, like this way to the morgue, and this way to the parking garage. And I looked at that sign for I think probably like 5 minutes. I was like, I don't want to go to either of those places. Both of those places sound like a horribly scary. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go check the places I've already been and see if I forgot something.
You know a game developer's done right on the fear factor when parking garage and morgue are in the same kind of I don't know.
Yeah.
Pick your destiny.
But yeah, Resident Evil 2 was the first game that I ever played, the original one.
Ever played, Corey? You ever played?
Of horror games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The first game I ever played was baseball for the Atari.
Wow.
I wonder what the original. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Galaga on a Commodore 64.
Nice.
I think the first game I played was probably Pong.
Cool.
The original Pong on.
Yeah.
I think.
I wonder if like what is the original horror like video game, because there was a game on the Atari 2600 called Haunted House.
Right.
I get some arguments for Doom being one of the originals.
Or like Duke Nukem. Yeah, probably.
But Haunted House definitely was before Doom. Way before.
Before Doom. I mean, I remember games like I had one that was like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where it was like a text game. And it was like you would basically like, it's like you're playing a role-playing game but just by yourself.
Yeah.
And you would read what's going on, and then so I bet you there was probably a scary.
Infocom was the company that made those games. I love those. My first one of those was Sorcerer. Or not Sorcerer, Enchanter was the first one.
That was one company that did all those style of games back in the day? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mostly. Most of the big ones that it was weird because they were a huge company and really big, and then the bottom dropped out of it, and no one liked text games anymore. Right. And now, but people are still making text games. There are all over the internet. There are hobbyists and people who actually
have resurrected the old code and put it online. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're writing new ones. Like,
legacy code. When I was starting to get into coding for a little bit, one of the things that I did was create a mini text game, and it had these mutant bears in it. Just because.
Nice.
Mutant bears.
Yeah, like a bear. You'd open a door and a bear would rip your arms off.
I also wrote a game on the VIC-20, a text game called Escape from Wizard Island.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I wrote a text game.
Why would you want to escape from such a place?
The wizard was a bastard, and he killed you if you ran into him.
Careful with the fucking wizards.
There's reasons.
Yeah.
I also wrote one very early on, and one of my favorite things I remember from it is just like one of the ways to go forward in the dungeon is you had to find a bucket, you had to find a key, and you need to put the bucket on your head and jump in this lake. And as you sank down to the bottom, you found the door and you had to open it. But when you put the bucket over your head and you jump in, you sink to the bottom and you see a bunch of other skeletons with buckets on their head.
Oh, nice.
Just to get people like, uh-oh, have I done the wrong thing? Yeah, that was one of my favorite things.
You probably shouldn't put a bucket on your head when you jump into a well.
Yeah.
Well, if you hold it, then you can hold the air in, right?
Yeah, that was the point.
Or not, apparently, according to
Let's call Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Right, they're probably not doing anything.
We're a bunch of nerds. How many of us have coded games before?
I've never coded one. I've just played a lot of them.
Yeah, I've never coded a game, but I feel like I've done a lot of level editors and stuff like that.
Plus, you have a bunch of tech behind you, so you're clearly a nerd.
Right, totally.
Look at that. Look at all those dials and things.
Yeah, he's got a Moog synthesizer behind him, so you know that guy's a gearhead.
Yeah.
He likes to patch things.
So I didn't put any water in this. I just
neither did I.
Drank it.
I went right through it.
Does someone want to try to? Whoa,
no, Alex doesn't want to.
I'm gonna put a little bit of water in this.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Rather than putting water in, he just finished it.
Oh, see, now he has to put water into it.
I did another. I put some water in.
Put a drip of water in there.
Put a little drip of water in.
Science.
Yeah. See, now I feel like the lumberjack is just in the meadow, and he's just rolling around the meadow. There's no house.
Oh, the house is gone. What happened to the house?
Well, he took off, and now there's no house, and Yeah, it's definitely made it less. It's like it smells smoother to me.
So more approachable in a way.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'll never know.
Yeah.
I was just following Joseph's lead.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't say that to do that.
I just watched you do it. I'm a visual learner.
I had like a little bit though. I had a little tiny bit. It was
I'm pretty
you were
sure
like,
I saw you drink the whole thing.
Yeah, you had a quarter ounce left. That's what Alex saw.
I think it was after we all saw like, oh, we're all with our kind. We had to embrace it.
So Arlo, would you recommend putting water in or no?
I'm actually enjoying it with the one drip of water.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm into it.
I'm tempted to pour some more and try it, but I'm also just, we have a journey ahead of us.